Hello, Movie Kid here, and I will be reviewing Go Vacation for the Wii. No, I do not have many good things to say about this game. Overall, it's boring for me. I mean, the kind of point of the game is you do the mini games and you run around, and it's like no real progress or anything. You just get all the mini games, and the more you do, you have access to like unlocking different the four resorts and like night and day and the villas eventually, which is nice and all. You get like you do certain challenges to get these gold and silver keys. You can unlock furniture stuff. I mean, I got a green like alien saucer UFO house. So yeah, I had to do a lot of it. My sister really likes that game. And it's a little boring for me because I really feel like there isn't much to do, especially since I don't like the mini games. So pretty much, I was just making up games inside of games. So it's like making up things to do inside of the game. So that was certainly way isn't it? And it's fine. I mean, it worked well. I don't think there's anything wrong with the controls. Okay, maybe I didn't really like. I eventually grew tired of the motion controls. Like I really felt like they didn't always work to the best of their abilities, and that kind of affected my enjoyment of some of the Wii games. I thought I had more to say about that game besides. So I'm just gonna we'll turn this into I read more Wii games. Next up, Dragon Ball Z Budokai Tenkaichi 3. Now this was a fantastic game. Fantastic. Character roster. Great. Voice acting. Great. The story. There wasn't any real story. It was very much bare bones history, but the number of characters. I spent a long time just actually playing the game. Playing the game before I actually found out there was like a history mode. So I kind of just. And they give you more characters through history mode, but mostly you really don't have to do anything. And eventually, as time went on, I started to get a little bit better. I started to try some different combos and stuff. Though since on the Wii, I always felt that the motion controls weren't always working very good when I was trying to go up, like both hands up, do like a spirit bomb or something. Didn't always work. So yes, it wasn't the best. Didn't always work properly. And certain like Wii remotes were giving me grief. So sometimes so they weren't always connecting. So it was always every 5 seconds. It was like not connected, not connected, not connected. It's really a lot of fun, but it didn't like. I think that's kind of where my Dragon Ball I think that's when I really got into it. That's where I started to get really interested in it. I started to get other games. I think I'd known some stuff before, but I think this is where I really took off interest because there's a lot to love in that game. Yeah, so that's really my only problem. There really isn't much else to say about it. Next up is Cartoon Punch Town Explosion. Basically, it's Super Smash, but Cartoon Network characters. And I certainly enjoyed the story. The story was really good, and the narrator did a good job. I wish there was more, I wish the cutscenes were animated. Like, actual, instead of just being kind of like cartoons, kind of being like plastered on. There was some movement, but it wasn't like the full movement experience. And that kind of. Otherwise, it's fun, it plays well, it works well. And yeah, so I thought it's good. It's probably not better than Super Smash, but it's like a Smash clone, so it's similar in that regard. It's certainly fun. There's nothing inherently wrong with the game. I think it works well. Everything is good about the game. No problems. It turned out great. Good. Great. I think it's time to talk about the sports games. Wii Sports. Great. The controls, everything. I love Wii Bowling. Wii Bowling was my sport. I did some other ones I'm never good at. Bowling was my jam. I loved bowling. I did a ton of Wii Bowling. I'm like a pro. Yeah, I remember I started going to the right, but a couple years ago I started going to the left, and it's kind of been where I'm going. I go to the left before I throw the ball. And I could never do it in Wii Sports Resort because I think it's too the Wii power becomes too exact, so it didn't do as good a job. Well, I just wasn't as good at it, so I didn't do it. Now over at Wii Sports Resort, which is also a good game. It's fine, no problems with it. See, these games are good. I don't have any problems with any of the games. Yeah, these reviews really aren't too good. I'm starting to think that it's not that movies are the problem, that I'm just not a great reviewer. That could probably affect some of the stuff. I don't think it's there's an audience of people who want to see people review movies. I watch them sometimes. I like watching them. I remember this old game I tried, Shrek the third game. I had a ton of fun playing it. The only issue is I can never like find it at like the library or anything. I could never find it, so I had a lot of trouble trying to find the game and track it down. That kind of still, I remember having a ton of fun with it. So that's kind of my story with it. Now we're moving on to the games that require a guitar. So we're gonna go with them in order. Guitar Hero 3. Finished that game. I had a ton of fun with that one. Like, that was the first one. My parents loved the game. They used to play it all the time, so I have very fond memories watching them play. Yeah, and I was not good. I couldn't do easy because I couldn't just do the buttons. It took a lot of band here, which I'll review later in the video, having to do Wipeout with my sister, that I actually started to actually get the fingering and I could go back and actually get the easy songs. Still took a while to actually beat Tom Morello for the first time. But I think I finished the rest of the game in one day. All the songs are good. A couple I don't know. Like, both, and also, the other thing that it's inherently tougher than Band Hero. It's inherently a little faster and a little bit tougher than Band Hero. Just want to throw that out there because I will be reviewing Band Hero later. Now, Guitar Hero World Tour. Great. Finished that game too. That one was also good. Song's good. Everything's good. Yeah, so I really don't have... They're all good games. Nothing wrong with any of them. Except Metallica. Same thing. Like, they all... Like, most of these games, they're all good. I don't have any real strong opinions or any real kind of negatives because there really isn't much in the sense of negative to any of these games. Ooh, next up, Rock Band 2 is the one I played. And I beat the game. That was a ton of fun as well. Yeah, so I go to different like stages. That was cool. A more stage variety and a ton of songs and a ton of really cool songs. In fact, you could make your own set list and kind of make your own character. Kind of was cool for me. So I had fun. That was a ton of fun. That was great for me. The Super Mario Galaxy games are great as well. Both of them are good. They're both really good. Well, I mean, they're kind of tough for me, but certainly fun to play. I would certainly recommend. Like, I recommend any of these games that I'm reviewing here. They're all quality games. Next up, the Wipeout games. Wipeout. Now I'm going to review Wipeout 1. Good. No problems. I waited. I always use... See, the way I think I used the medium guide until I unlocked John Anderson, to unlock John Henson, and he was who I used. He was my main player, and that one's fine, but I started to favor the later games. Wipeout 2 was the last one I played, and it's definitely the least visually appealing. I don't really understand why they changed it sideways compared to using nunchucks, because that was kind of weird. But you could play Santa Claus, which is cool. And you had like the winter Wipeout stages, and you had 8 stages, and you had like some, and like the final level, like the Wipeout Zone was good and cool. Well, back to the first one. There's only like the issue with that one is it's only like 3 stages. You have like your easy, your medium, or hard. There's some tiny variety there, but it's not like real levels. It's just kind of like that. Not particularly fun. I mean, it's okay, but I still preferring the later Wipeout 4 was my jam. But we'll talk about that in a second. Okay, and now Wipeout 3. And this one I play by the least. It's good. I certainly enjoy it. You have a ton of good stages and stuff. And the character is good. Roster is good. Yeah, with this one, if I remember correctly, this one you have to, in order to lock John Anderson, I had to level it up. I had to keep going level by level by level, which wasn't particularly fun for me because I had to wait a long time. The game plays well, it works good. Now my favorite Wipeout, create and crash. Create your own courses, great selection. You can buy characters this time so I can get them whenever I want. Oh yeah, this was so much fun. My favorite Wipeout game. The creations really helped me out. I could make some really cool stuff, and I certainly had a ton of fun with that aspect. Also, Thrill Off the Rails, another great game. Make roller coasters and stuff and make your own theme park, which is also a ton of fun. I like those kind of games, but I also don't like if there's too much going on. I like there's like not as like as goes by real time. It kind of like goes by kind of however there isn't as much of downtime or anything. It's pretty simple to play, and it's certainly a ton of fun. I said that a lot in this video. I probably should maybe in the comments below count it and let me know, because I'm pretty sure I said in every game I reviewed today. I'm just full of the same sort of stuff for every single one of these. Yeah, that's fun. I'm gonna lump all Just Dances together. They're good. They're fine. Not my cup of tea in the slightest. Alright, I think we'll end it there. Ta-ta. Peace.